Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And I just came across this article coming from Russia Today. It says Russia and Global South shaping multipolar digital future. Tech Forum delegates have discussed joint efforts on trade, AI, cybersecurity, and innovation with RT, right, which is Russia Today, and just touching in on again, all right, this whole global, race, to be at the forefront of this new normal, right, which is all centered around, you know, um, AI, right, and its abilities and how it will transform, the global economy, various different societies, right? As we always make mention of what Klaus Schwab said about the fourth industrial revolution, right? This is the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, it's the reshaping, right? Resetting society, being tied to a digital system, all right, with artificial intelligence being at the forefront of that. Okay, and with artificial intelligence being the centerpiece, humanity will have to, and is already doing it, but the ultimate goal is for humanity to merge and to be augmented with this system, so that the ones who have control over this system will be able to, in essence, therefore have control over all humanity, right? Because they want to put that CHIP within people, right? That's why there's a thing called the Internet of Bodies, right? And a part of the Internet of Bodies is having technology merged, right, with humanity, and everything would be all interconnected. So it's not, it's not just America that is doing this. As you see, Russia and the global South is also, linking together, shaping the digital future. But the thing about it is, which is what John the Revelator saw, is the beast, right? And I'm gonna get into something. I have another little, information I wanted to touch on, but America, being the forefront of it, is going to be the one who basically gets, wins the race. Okay, America is going to, and its allies, right, is going to be the ones who wins this race to this system. All right, because the mark of the beast, which is the implantable micro CHIP, right, is called the mark of the beast for a reason. Okay, although you have all these nations of the world all moving toward digital currency, all moving towards AI technology, and all these things, there is going to be one nation, right? Speaking chiefly of Babylon the Great, that is going to be at the forefront of it. All right, they're going to be the ones that pushes it out first on this global scale, because right now you still have America as being the world, it has the American dollar, the US dollar is the world currency, right? America is still the has the largest economy, right? Most of the countries of the world still does business, right, with America. America is still the number one consumer, right? The number one importer from these various different countries. So it still has a very big what's the word? A very big sway on how the global economy shifts and moves. And we're seeing these countries starting to try to pull away from that, right? This is why you have something called the multipolar, right? Where you have Russia, China, African countries, South American countries that are, trying to work together and move away from dependency, on America and its, economy. But that is a push and pull right now that is happening, right? And all this is happening while you're having this whole AI technology, be something that is, really just reshaping the global, sectors of the economy, work, okay, every industry, okay, all industries are reshaped because of AI. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this. It says Russia and Global South have been strengthening ties and expanding digital cooperation in light of new opportunities opened by Western sanctions. So you have these countries, Russia and the Global South, which you have India in there, Bangladesh. When it says the Global South, it's speaking about the south of the um, equator, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe just referring to the position of Russia. And you have obviously Russia is in the north, which is also spiritual because the scriptures talks about the north country. Um, but um, and when it speaks about the north country attacking Babylon the Great, it's speaking about Russia, right? But then you also have the North representing North America as well. So depending on the context of the scriptures, it could be talking about either or. But the global South is, as you read, it says, continuing, says according to delegates attending the country's first global digital forum this week, the 2-day event, which kicked off on Thursday in Novgorod. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the first part of that. Brought together government officials, business leaders, and experts from more than 100 countries, including China, India, and some African countries. Right, which Ezekiel the 38th chapter tells you that there are going to be some African countries that are going to join Russia, right? Gog and Magog, which, as Apostle Tahar, brought out, Gog is the land. Magog just means from Gog, right? And they're going to join Russia, in this war against Babylon the Great, okay, and its allies, chiefly the 48ers. And as we see what the 48ers are doing right now, all right, what they're calling a genocide, and how they are just having complete lack of sympathy, humanitarian humanitarian sympathy. It's causing a lot of nations to have a disdain to the 48ers. Okay, even you just had today, I seen France basically say that they are definitely going to recognize the Palestinians as a state. Spain earlier this week canceled their arms dealings trade with the 48ers. So the 48ers is gaining a lot of enemies, right? But yet you still got Babylon the Great, speaking about their ironclad relationship, right? Netanyahu came out today and said, oh, not today, yesterday, I think it was, that said there is no daylight in between the partnership of America and the 48ers, meaning that they're so close that light can't even come in between the two. So yeah, the scriptures, prophesied that the least of the flock was going to draw them out, right? Speaking about the 48ers drawing out America into this war. But reading on, it says some of them shared their views with RT on the sidelines of the forum, highlighting prospects for collaboration in areas such as trade, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and technology transfer. China and Russia are strategic partners and good neighbors, chairman of Chinese Entrepreneurs Union in Russia. He noted that bilateral trade reached $240 billion last year, with China remaining Russia's top food product partner for 15 consecutive years, even under sanctions. And the sanctions is by who? America, right? That's one of the ways that it's the hammer of the earth, right? It's one of the ways, as it says in Isaiah the 14th chapter, that it rules with a rod of how is it worded? Isaiah 14 with a continual stroke, right? Isaiah 14 verse 4, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Yeah, so that is one of the ways that America, smotes the people, is through sanctions, right? Economically crippling countries by way of putting sanctions on them so that it'll be harder for them to, grow their economy, because of anybody that does dealings with them would, in essence, get sanctioned. So people, other nations shy away from them. And because America still has the world currency, right? Most countries do trade within it, but with the US dollar, America has the ability to sanction countries, by that whole process of basically taxing them, or not allowing them to use their money, right, or the SWIFT payment system, right, which is the global payment system. Nations, pay each other, right? That SWIFT payment system is belongs to the America. So they sanction them, and they're not allowed to use that payment system. So countries have to now do bilateral trading, which ultimately means that they have to trade within their own currencies, right? And the more they do that, the more their their currency becomes more useful. And that is why you now have something called de-dollarization happening, where countries are now bypassing using the American dollar and are now doing trading in their own currency. So Russia, which has the ruble, and China, which has the yuan, they're now trading, by way of their own currency, right? And that's happening in many different parts of the earth. And then you also have the BRICS, right, which is coming as a conglomerate of nations that are trying to come up with its own currency, right? And they wanted to make it digital so that they could, trade within that currency, right? And the more more that currency grows and is traded, the more powerful it becomes on a global scale. And then the less powerful the dollar becomes. So America is seeing all this. Is why you have, Trump doing all the tariffs, right? He's trying to force countries to do trade with America, to have their companies come to America and build, their manufacturing companies over here, so that they would have to use the American dollar. Okay, but as we see, that is not going as planned or as easily or smoothly as Trump thought it was going to be. So what do you think is going to happen? You think Babylon the Great is just going to just go to the side and just like, what, I'm gonna let you other guys have it? No, right? And this is where the AI technology comes into play, because while they still have the power, right, of being the biggest economy and having the world currency, the US dollar, as the world currency, they're going to utilize those things. They're going to weaponize that, right, into forcing the world into taking that charagma. Okay. But in order to do that, it has to be the what is it? The foundation of this of that charagma, which will be the AI system, has to be laid out, and that goes into this right here, right? So I typed in Trump wants America to be the leader of AI, right? Now it says over AI overview. Yes, President Donald Trump has expressed a strong desire for the United States to be the global leader in artificial intelligence development. Key actions and policies reflecting this stance include Executive Order 14179, signed in January 2025, right? The same day that he became president, I believe. This order aims to remove perceived barriers to AI innovation and promote American dominance in the field. So this executive order is to remove barriers in AI innovation. Focus on deregulation, right? Deregulation, deregulation. I'm bugging. I'm tired. Focus on deregulation. The Trump administration seeks to reduce government oversight and control over AI development, contrasting with previous administrations emphasizing on risk mitigation and equity. So Trump came into office and he said, you know, F regulations with AI. We're going to deregulate AI, right? And reduce government oversight. And we're going to let these companies, which a lot of these companies are funded by the government, okay? And even with OpenAI, okay, they're actually working in tandem with the government to make these, what was it called, Stargate? So make these data centers. And the deregulation is so that it could just, all of the paperwork and all of the licenses that they need to make these data centers, they're just going to just toss those to the side, you know, metaphorically, so that it can speed up the process. Prioritizing AI research and development. This includes a commitment to increasing investment in AI research and establishing national AI research institutes. Promoting American-made AI systems. The administration encourages the procurement of AI systems developed within the United States. Emphasis on competition with China, right? Remember, Klaus Schwab said what China was the model, but really, America is looking at China and what they have done so far with AI and said, yeah, we want our economy, we want our nation to be like that, right? With the surveillance, with the social credit score, with all those things. But they're saying that, as I'm reading it, says a key aspect of Trump's AI strategy is to outpace China in the development of this technology. So not only do they want to model, right, China's society, but they want to outpace them. So they want to actually go beyond and beat them, right, in this race. Okay, so these things that, I'll read the last one. It says promoting AI education and workforce development, where they've already made mention that AI is going to basically take over 80% of the current jobs that are, that are out right now. So they're talking about workforce development, but then in order for there to be a workforce, there's going to have to be a whole different type of workforce that is going to have to be in place. Because if AI is going to take over 80% of the current jobs, then where's the workforce going to do, work? So it says an executive order was signed to boost AI education, right? They, I think it was in Arizona. They talked about having AI basically teach the children coming this up September at some charter school, right? It says in training through public-private partnerships, See, public-private partnerships. You heard about the PPP back during the lockdowns, right? The EMIC. So these are the ways that Trump, all right, in America is going to be the global leader in this race to an AI society, right? AI ran society. All right, they're deregulating oversight by the government so that these companies that they fund were like OpenAI, like um, Elon Musk or is it Neuralink, right? Like Synchron, I forgot what it was. Synchron, right? And all these other AI, companies that are on the books, on the government, payroll. They're letting them, do whatever they need to do to fast track this technology and this development. See, so when the scripture speaks about it being the mark of the beast, it's because the beast is going to be the leader, right? Is going to be the ones that pushes this out on a global scale first. Okay, so now we get the scripture, right, in the book of Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." See? So this devil, which we know is Esau Edom, okay, using the spearhead of his kingdom, which is Babylon the Great, America, to push this new system, right? This new order, this in this new order of the ages, okay? Using that, using Babylon the Great to push this out onto the world, because he ultimately, as it says, he knows he has a short time, right? And a short time for what? A short time to reign, a short time to rule. All right, and his agenda is to snare and entrap and to force the world into this system, into taking that charagma, so that, and ultimately it's really he wants the Israelites, right? He wants all of Israel, okay, because he knows that who is next and really who is to have the everlasting kingdom is the Israelites. But Esau, being in the power seat right now, his plan or his desire is to keep his power, keep being the ruler. Okay, and he believes by way of that charagma, he's going to be able to make, right, a covenant with the whole world and put his image in them, and therefore, when there will be no flesh to be saved when Yahweh Shai returns. Right, he's trying to upset the prophecy, okay, to put it plainly. But the scriptures tells us, right, and we we bear witness of it, that there are going to be some that is going to get victory, right, over the mark of the beast, over his image, okay, because of their faith. They're going to be faithful until death. All right, and that is the position that we're in right now, right? We have overcame this devil by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony, right? And we love not our lives until the death. Okay, so yeah, I just want to bring that out, because this is the thing that is going to come and try the whole world, right? The snare that is going to come and try the whole world, as we're seeing the whole entire world move toward this fourth industrial revolution, right? Which is all centered around AI. Okay, and at the same time, right, we know we at the end, because the Lord is also having this whole war brew, right? The valley of Jehoshaphat, right? The Ezekiel 37. Okay, so like if Ezekiel 38, all right, the Armageddon, all of that is brewing up right now. Okay, matter of fact, I mean, I just posted it on my Instagram, on the Facebook. Yeah, I'm tired. On YouTube. You got this right here. U.S. President Trump threatens Iran. Iran won't be allowed to enrich uranium. If they try, we will have to stop them by military force. I don't want to go that way, but we might have no other option. So, hey, we close, man. We are close. So, with that, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. Till next time, shalom.